What's up everyone, MK Tom Brady here. So in this video I want to go over the official patch notes for the cameos, and then I will do a separate video covering the characters. So the official full list of changes, starting with Cyrex here, it says adjusted combo damage scaling on Copter Chopper and Horizontal Copter Chopper. So the regular Copter Chopper here, this gets used for certain characters to convert throws into full combos. It gets used to extend combos. And it's got some damage scaling on it now. So let's take, for example, Sub-Zero's old 55% that had two of the Copter Choppers in there. Now instead of 55%, it's going to do right around 50. So some damage scaling there on it. And the same goes for the horizontal Copter Chopper. So this move also has damage scaling on it. So, you know, characters would use this after like some armor attacks. Like Rain would use it, and not only would it make their attack safe, but it would hit and also give them a launch combo opportunity. That's going to add damage scaling to the combo as well. So canceling Copter Chopper into horizontal Copter Chopper now costs 50% more Kameo change. And this is what we already covered basically. So to do regular Copter Chopper, that's going to cost half of your Kameo. And if you hold it for the horizontal, it's going to cost the full Kameo bar. And I'm going to come back to this when I cover some of the other cameos. It says there's a slightly faster recharge after the horizontal Copter Chopper. So basically it's saying your Kameo gauge is going to recharge a little faster now. And I guess it does recharge faster than normal, but still in all, they're trying to make it so it's not impossible to get called, but it is going to take some recharge time. And what they did was they didn't just want to delay the recharge time of one, because it's still going to give you two on deck. And this is what we're going to come to. So if they basically did say, okay, just make one bar, have more recharge time. So let's say the horizontal was still one bar, but just longer recharge time. You would still have another one on deck. So you would have basically two of them to use, you know, so while one's recharging, one is still available. And they didn't want to do that, so they basically made it so, okay, so now when you use it, we'll slightly buff the recharge time, but you're not going to have one on deck. So when we come to Goro now, they basically did one major change, and I'm not even really sure why they did this. So they made it so when you call Goro's Raise the Roof twice in one combo, so not twice, but twice in one combo, it now has a slower recharge time. And I honestly really can't tell the difference here. So I'm just going to do a quick garbage combo here. So if you look at Goro's recharge time here, I guess we'll watch it here. I don't really see that it's any more than if you just call them twice in general. According to the patch notes, it does have a slightly long, quote unquote, slightly longer recharge time. And we'll just kind of put them side by side here and kind of see. I really can't tell a difference on the slightly slower recharge time, but I guess if we timed it, it would be slightly slower. Again, I didn't time this. So that's if you use it twice in one combo, and this is if you use it twice. Okay, so now we'll wait. Again, it looks pretty much the exact same, to be honest with you. I don't really notice a difference. It's supposed to have taken, maybe I guess I do see it is slightly longer, but people aren't calling Goro twice in the same combo. And this is where I'm going to go back to the Cyrex issue. So for Cyrex, they didn't, give slightly longer recharge time when things are used twice in a combo, or slightly longer recharge time after, the horizontal Copter Chopper. They basically said, hey, you use horizontal, the whole bar is gone. And that's to ensure that you don't have one on deck while the other one's recharging. But see, Goro causes not the exact same issue, but similar issues in which he's giving characters plus framed armored launchers. And okay, if he's used twice in one combo, they don't use him twice in one combo. He's going to have a slightly longer recharge time, but they just should have given him the Cyrex treatment. Hey, guess what? If when you use Raise the Roof, it takes your whole Kameo bar, and it's got a slightly faster recharge time. This way you still can do what Goro did with armored launchers, but you don't have that one on deck. So you're going to have to go an extended period of time. Because if I use him now, for armored launch situation, even though people say, oh, Goro has a long recharge time, bro, but I still have Goro on deck here. So, so it's okay, sure. It's like Goro did have a longer recharge time, but you always have that one on deck while the other one is charging. So I think they should have given that the Cyrex treatment. Go over a couple other cameos here. It's the same for Serena. Serena, the same thing. It says when she's used twice in the same combo, she is, she's got a slightly longer recharge time. So do this so I can go for both. So Serena's basically major change here is when you use her twice in the same combo, much like Goro, she's going to come back a little slower. Again, let's go over and I'll just record this. So twice in the same combo, let's look at her recharge time. It doesn't look to be any different than if you, it's probably so slightly different. So they should have done, again, with Serena, something similar to the Cyrex treatment. Maybe not in the exact same way as far as the recharge to the Kameo, where one Serena call takes the whole bar, because you want to be able to use the two in the combo. Okay, so now that's that way. Now let's just call her regularly twice. One, two. And again, it says slightly longer recharge time. This looks to be almost the exact same recharge time, so I don't really see much of a difference here. So again, I wouldn't have touched this the way they touched Cyrex as far as it takes the whole Kameo bar. However, I do think they should have touched it so if you actually hit the opponent out of Serena, the knife doesn't come back. And they're kind of dealt with the punishment of calling Serena at the wrong time and the wrong, spacing. I think that would have put this on par with the Cyrex stuff. Some of the other Kameo changes, Kung Lao here. So you guys already know about. Let's go ahead and get. So this no longer launches on a reversal, and the low hat has a slightly longer recharge time. Now, what I want to show you guys something about cameos in general. This is about Kung Lao and or Serena, who has a quick Kameo recharge attack as well. Not her multiple knives, but just a single knife. So, because some people were thinking that, oh my gosh, look at how long the low hat comes back. Look how long it takes. This is the normal recharge time. However, when you use Kung Lao for something like this in a combo, and now if I'm going to use low hat, look at how long the recharge is on the low hat now. And every time I use low hat after this, it's still going to give me the long cooldown. So here again, I use low hat, and I'm going to get the long cooldown again. This is not part of the patch. This is just how it's always been. So whenever you use like an attack like that, like his spin or whatever it is, or his teleport, unless your Kameo gauge totally replenishes anytime you use low hat, it's going to cause that longer cooldown. So that's not part of the patch notes. It's just how it's always been. People, I guess, are just noticing it now. So just a couple of other quick patch notes here to go over. The Jax Kameo, much like the Goro and Serena, it says slightly increase the recharge delay of Backbreaker when used more than once in the same combo. Now that actually does happen. So of all the nerfs they did to these cameos where they come back slower if used twice in the same combo, Jax is really the only scenario in which that happens properly. Sector, increase the recharge delay of up rocket and homing rocket when used more than once in the same combo. Again, that never happens. So, Sonya Kameo and slightly. So this again also makes sense, right? Sonya Kameo slightly increased the recharge delay of square wave and leg grab when used more than once in the same combo. This is for people that start combos with whatever in the leg grab to do meterlessly, and then use the square wave to keep it going, or use square wave to start a combo with an armored launch, and then use square wave again to extend the damage. That actually does make sense. This, doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense for any of these other cameos they did that for. Scorpion Kameo increased the recharge delay of fire breath when used more than once in the same combo. Again, characters like Scorpion and Jax, etc. Those are characters in which you call the Kameo more than once in the same combo. So I could see them trying to put those nerfs in line with Cyrex. But when it comes to what they did to Goro, they did to Serena, that's not really in line with the kind of Cyrex situation here. Striker, increased recharge delay of low grenade and high grenade toss when used more than once in the same combo. Again, I see they're trying to like touch all the cameos, like, oh, we touch Cyrex, but it's not really the same. They're not really adjusting the other cameos with the same philosophy that they used on Cyrex. And Shijinko got a bunch of changes. His copycat, when he does sub slide, now does 110, which I guess that did almost no damage. And they changed the mimic hit reaction when he does Curious' time stop. His mimic Baraka stab now does the correct damage. His Melina drill kick roll and Tanya's and a few other moves, they no longer cause some type of weird hit reaction. So basically just kind of like hit reaction and bug fixes and some damage changes on some of his mimic moves. Those are all the major cameo changes that got done in this game. And I'm just very disappointed. Again, I made a video where I kind of just voiced this earlier, but this is just very disappointing to me because with Cyrex, they were on the right track. Okay, increase the cooldown of how often you can copter, but have the bar come back a little faster. Okay, good. And do that so it costs both bars so you don't always have one on deck. But when they could have applied that to Goro, when they could have applied that, in other situations, they were just like, whatever. We'll just barely touch those. And which is why, people look at Cyrex like, well, why would I play Cyrex? I mean, you still get throw combos, things of that nature from Cyrex, but more people are going to now say, okay, well, if I want an armored launcher that's plus, I'll go with Goro instead of Cyrex because at least I have one on deck at all times because it's not going to cost both bars. They really had a good chance to do something and they just didn't. So let me know what you think in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.